Welcome to another episode of the Pocono Fireside Chat featuring Pocono Prepper. Don't you just love that sick intro? Anyway, I want to talk to you about lighting. I learned a few things about lighting. Now, I don't know how well you can see, but I have little lanterns out there. They're little solar lanterns. My sister, who thinks I'm a little on the whack side for prepping, sent me a video and said, "Oh, I figured you'd like this." Maybe she was busting my tail, or maybe she was being genuinely nice. I don't know. You know how sisters are. But I give her the benefit of the doubt because I love her very much and I figure she was being nice. This video said that in a situation where your power goes out, this is a source of light for your home. Well, you know, I'm a lover of redundancy. I like having more than one thing to be able to do something with because that way you always have a backup. So I went out to Wally World and I bought 4 or 5 of these things. I don't know. I only paid $5 a piece and I thought, okay, I'm going to see just what they do, and I threw them back here. This is in the back of the house. Nobody sees this. I figured it would be a good experimental place to put it, and I'd see how well they light up. Well, on the package said bright, brighter, brightest, and bright was checked off. I come to figure out that Wally World only sells bright, and probably if you wanted to get brightest, you had to go to a lighting store and pay a lot more money than just $5 a lamp. But that's okay. So I bought these, put them in the ground, let them charge up, and the light from them was okay. And by that I mean, if I was coming in from the woods, I would be able to see the little spots of light and say, okay, that's where my back door is, you know, because the lights on the big windows coming through wouldn't give me a clue, so at least the little lights would give me a clue on where I had to head to the back door. And it was okay, you know. But Hurricane Sandy came. We had 3 days of gray. With every day of gray that came, there was less sunlight. And the less sunlight that you have, even though it's light outside, it really doesn't charge those batteries that well. And so the light dimmed and dimmed and dimmed until finally these little lights look like there's just a little speck. All right? The Wally World bright lights are not a good investment if you're thinking of using them for additional lights in your house. Now, one day I will spend the money and I will go to a light store and I will buy a brightest light and see what the difference is in that. But I'm here to tell you that if you get that video sent to you and you think it might be a good idea, I'm telling you, don't waste your money. It's not a good idea. The other thing I want to mention to you about is oil lamps, because I relied on these for a while, that and candles. And I had seen a video that said, you know, in an SHTF situation, you could use a canning jar with a hanger and a wick and vegetable oil, and you could have light. Voila, there's light. So I did an experiment. The oil lamp oil is very expensive, but I filled that one with candle oil, lamp oil, that one with half and half vegetable oil, and that one with all vegetable oil. If you wanted light to be able to see, you want the lamp oil. That gives the cleanest and brightest light with no wear or damage to the wick on the candle, okay? Damage to the wick for the light. The half and half, it lit. I mean, you could get it to light. It lit. But it kind of burned the wick rather than burning the oil. And you didn't really get a bright, bright light. It was kind of like the Wally World lights. I knew there was a light there, but it was absolutely useless to do anything for task. The oil lamp light with the vegetable oil totally burned the wick, okay? And when you blew it out, all right, the wick continued to smolder because it wasn't so much the oil that was burning as it was the wick, and the oil let the wick burn. And the flame was extremely poor, and when you put the chimney on top, it went out. So it served no purpose whatsoever. It was lousy light, lousy burning, and you couldn't put a chimney on top, which, you know what, for my husband and I, that's fine. We're not stupid enough to put our fingers in an open flame, even though it was a small flame. But if you have little ones around, not only does that not serve as a task, purposeful object, there's no protection from the kids. You know, and you want the chimney to offer you some protection to the flame. So that's the interesting thing I learned. Spend the money on the oil lamp, oil. I know it's a lot of money, but you are getting your money's worth out of it. So those are two things that I learned. And as always, I hope you have a good day.